believe I gotta have this
If
conversation.
he don't win this year, he's a bum.
What?
Joe, that's a Hall of Fame terrible take right there.
No, it's not. It's true. It's so
That was
true.
right.
What?
Boy just choked. Straight women booty and let the ball go.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
LeBron James
puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound box. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Irving and Curry. One-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
Oh, yeah, but we'll get to explaining and debating in a second.
Hey,
Joseph.
I low-key did my thing with that. I could low-key did my thing with that intro.
No, yeah, you killed it.
That thing intro not bad, bro. That's fine. We need another one, but that was pretty good. That's crazy. Anyway, it hits every time. It hits every time.
It sure does.
Right.
Joe, I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad we took this long to do the recap episode for the season because I needed something good to happen for my Miami Heat to be able to cope with the Knicks winning an NBA championship. But we'll start there. The New York, I'm going to try and say this with any sort of enthusiasm. The New York Knicks are the NBA champions, Joe. They beat the Spurs in 5 games. The Spurs had a double-digit lead in every single game of the finals and managed to get a little gentleman swept out the way by Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of people asking for some apologies from Becky Hammond. There's been all sorts of victory laps with the Knicks. But Joe, I think the first question we got to get at with this finals, was this more an insane choke by the San Antonio Spurs, or was this just team of destiny, New York Knicks?
Ooh.
Which way are you going with this?
I'm going with a choke job for sure. Karl Anthony Towns had 2 good games. Jalen Brunson had 1 good game, and that was game 5. Everything else, he was clutch. I'm going to give him his credit. He was clutch in the 4th quarter, but the Spurs had a 10, 15-point lead in every single game, and they ended up choking and ended up losing. They're a young team, but there's no excuse. De'Aaron Fox didn't play well. They had poor ball management. The coach should have done better. It was a choke job all the way around. Could have used Tam Ice better. They should have managed. They shot too many threes. They kind of look like the Celtics when you're like, okay, the Celtics should be running things, and then they end up shooting way too many threes and end up losing a game. So I think it was a choke job more than anything, but you got to give credit to the Knicks. They kept fighting. They knew they had a chance. They just said, if we just keep playing ball, we're going to get a chance to win every game because they don't know how to keep a lead and hold on to a lead. I feel like it was maturity over youth, to be quite honest. At the end of the day, I feel like the Spurs, they didn't freaking put their foot on people's throats when they had the lead. You can't just sit there and be nice. Wemby, you should be still tearing the rim off. You should be blocking shots. Y'all should have still been playing with that same intensity when you had the lead. But I feel like they kept getting comfortable, and that shit don't work. That shit can work in college basketball, but it's too many runs in the NBA for you to sit there and be relaxed, and that's exactly what happened to them. So they still dangerous. They gonna be one of the top teams next year still, but they had to learn a lesson and they choked.
Yeah, selfishly, I wish they would have learned their lesson against the Thunder and then let the Thunder go on to the finals because the Thunder would have handled business there. But have to give credit to the Knicks. They won it, and like you said, it does take some level of perseverance to be able to see double-digit leads and then routinely come back from it. Because they didn't just do that in the finals. I mean, they did that against the Cavaliers. They did it all the way kind of through their run. Crazy to think about. The team that gave them the hardest series was the Hawks, and which was their first round. Their first round matchup. But they only series they dropped more than 1 game. They lost 2. We're down 2-1 in that series at one point. But I lean towards it was more of a choke. Choke maybe too strong of a word. No, it's not. They choked. The Spurs choked. I wouldn't go the destiny with the Knicks, but they were, like you said, they were the more mature. They were the more ready team for the moment. They never got too high, never got too low, even though they were down 29. They were able to continue foot on the gas. We're not done. Just keep making shots, one possession at a time. And then the Spurs.
But Karl Anthony Towns gave them a chance.
No, I mean, Cat, for the most part, I think overall in the series was good. I thought through the first 3 games, I thought it was insane that Jalen Brunson was leading any Finals MVP talk because he was legitimately bad, and Cat was doing his thing defending Wemby. Now, of course, what we both expected.
The last 2 games, woo!
Last 2 games, Cat starts doing the thing where he just picks up stupid fouls 2 seconds into the game, and then you're sitting there.
I was like, uh-oh. I was like, the Spurs are going to make a comeback and win this series, and then they poo-pooed the bed. I was like, if they win again, if they would have won those 2 games, went back to San Antonio, I think they would have had it. I really do, because Karl Anthony Towns was looking terrible. Then they would have all that pressure would have been on the Knicks. Like Karl Anthony Towns would have been struggling with them 2 fouls again early. Like that's why I say they choked. They had the Knicks gave them so many opportunities to win the series.
Yeah, I mean the Knicks had. I mean, it's not a very long history of the NBA of when. The sort of tracking with how much time someone's been leading. I mean, the Knicks won while leading, and that they won in 5 games while leading for like 23% of the time.
It's insane.
I mean, that's just insane. I think we see this with like every really talented big guy now that's like super skinny. We see it all the time with all these players want to be Kevin Durant. But you're not Kevin Durant.
Exactly.
Like Wemby, you're 7'2", 7'3". Like if your team's in a drought, please go park yourself under the rim.
Just post up. Thank you. Exactly.
And then every clutch, the biggest thing that really aided the Knicks was the Knicks knew exactly what they were going to do in clutch moments. Jalen Brunson's going to get the ball. We're going to hunt whatever mismatch, the best mismatch we can get, and Jalen Brunson is going to play one-on-one. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that as a overall philosophy, and if they were playing a more experienced veteran team, I don't know that would have gone the way that it did for them. But the Spurs kept trying to basically do the same thing, so if they want to throw it to Wemby, and Wemby trying to be a shot creator on his own off the dribble from the wing is just he's too big, he's too long.
I don't know why they kept doing that.
It's so easy to help. Like it got too congested. He just wasn't making the greatest plays out of it. So I think the Spurs will certainly be a problem for years to come. Like they're going to be a problem. Wemby, I imagine, will figure it out. The coaching staff will figure it out. But the one thing that's also going to happen as a consequence of this is Mitch Johnson is going to be under a much much more intense magnifying glass.
Absolutely,
because,
as he should be.
Yeah, I mean, look, Dylan Harper is here. Stephon Castle had a really great season. Wemby is Wemby, right? Like all the pieces are there now. What do you do with Fox? We'll see how that plays out. It sounds like they want to keep him at this point.
They got to, but man, that's bad.
Yeah, the coach is going to go. It's going to go from like all feel good story now. The Spurs were like the feel good story this year. Now it's going to be when are you going to get it done? And that pressure changes real quick.
Yes, it does.
All the people, you included, that are like, oh my God, look, Wemby cares so much. He's crying after winning, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, all you people that bought into all that bullshit and all the national media that was running it as this positive story, that's not going to be positive anymore. No one's going to care. Because you know what it looks like now, Joe? All that crying after winning the Western Conference Finals, it looks like when Pat Bev took his jersey off, and was waving it around when the Timberwolves won the fucking play-in game. That's what it looks like. You look like an idiot now. So I don't want to see any of that next year. I don't want to see anybody like, oh wow, look how impressive it is. Isn't it refreshing to see how competitive? No, win. I don't want to see you crying because you won the NBA Cup in November. I don't want to hear any of that shit.
Nope.
I don't want to care about it. Oh well, they went 4-0 against the Thunder. Wemby really hates Chet. Yeah, that's great. Hate your opponent in the NBA Finals like that. That's what I want to see next year. Shout out to the Knicks.
I guess shout out to the Knicks.
They got it done.
I guess.
Fuck them.
And I feel like I ain't low key. I feel like the Spurs. I feel like the Spurs and Wemby gave up in Game 5 too. I ain't gonna hold it. Like nobody was making shots but Jalen Brunson, bro. Y'all should have won that game. Y'all should have won that game.
Get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, they didn't even
They
score
were doing
100.
And what's crazy
What
is
they
they would
scored,
have all
90-some
these things
points?
that were
Oh.
like so successful for them in the first half with all of these games, and then would just abandon them.
Yep.
Like
It's
game
because
4
it
was
felt
the one
like they
for
won
me.
the game. It's crazy.
Game 4 was the one for me. Like they got hot from 3 right in the first half, and like I say this as someone that watched the Heat do this for years when they had Jimmy, Duncan, Strus, Hero, Lowry. They'd be making all these threes. Caleb Martin in the first half. And then they would resort to in the second half. They would just keep shooting them at this insane clip, thinking they're going to keep making them at like a
They just
65% clip. It is going to regress to the mean at some point. Like it's very unlikely for an entirety of a game you're going to shoot that lights out from 3.
Exactly.
Now, what the Heat had in those playoff runs was they had a guy like Jimmy who would say, "Okay, give me the ball.
Right.
I'm going to get into the lane, get fouls, get easy shots to kind of cool them off and kind of recenter them." That's what Wemby needed to be for the Spurs. He needed to be, okay, I'm the 7-2 guy. I can get us a bunch of easy baskets around the rim. But he didn't do that. He fell into the same trap that they were all falling into. So I think they'll get that. I think they'll learn that as they get older. But
true.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times where, okay, it's fourth quarter, the game is close. Wemby, why are you shooting a 3 with 20 seconds on the shot clock still? Like, what are we doing? Why are we just pulling up, taking threes? Like, come on.
He hit that
one,
like legendary
he was like,
one
I'm gonna do it
against the
every
Thunder.
time.
And then, it seems like that got in his head a little bit.
Yeah, because that was too much, man. Like, slow the game down. We got the lead. Let's slow it down here. Let's get a good play. You have the advantage. We can slow this shit down, post you up, get you in a good spot. Nope.
We'll
There's
see
a lot
how
of
they
things
bounce
that
back
good did.
next year. But I'll say the one good thing, Joe, that came out of the Knicks winning a championship, it woke that man Pat Riley up. Pat's back. Heat trade for Giannis. I'll give you the details real quick here, Joe. So the Heat receive Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bobby Portis. The Bucks receive Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, Kasparas Yakachunas, the 13th pick in the draft, which became Nate Ament. First round picks in 2031 and 2033, pick swap in 2030, and then a second round pick in 2033. So the Heat did give up a lot of young players, a lot of picks and pick swaps for the future.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say that I think is an interesting kind of win for the Heat secondarily is in the next 4 years, the Heat will actually still have 3 of their first round picks as they're trying to continue to fill out a roster around Giannis and Bam. You're going to need some people on those kind of rookie contracts. So having 3 of the next 4, I think, is very impactful. And, as the Heat always do, they will kick that can down the road for the 2030s picks that they gave away to get Giannis. So, Joe, what was your reaction to seeing the Pat Riley finally get his next superstar?
I mean, it's nice. It's great. Giannis, I mean, he got his superstar, but that's all he got right now. I mean, like, yeah, Bam is good too. I ain't gonna hate on Bam, but I mean, it's Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert without Ant-Man. Like, you have 2 good pieces, but you don't have nothing around them. You're gonna have to figure it out, like find some shooters, and you don't have any shooters right now that I trust. You don't have nothing. You have no pieces. It's not gonna work in today's NBA. It's just you need shooters around those guys, and if he can't get shooters around them, this first year is a wash. And then we're gonna say, okay, you got next year, you got 2-3 years to get together, but next year is a wash if they don't find some shooters that can do things. And they have in the past been able to find shooters on on some things. You were just talking about it, like Duncan Robinson is a great example of that. Max Strus at one point was a great example. They find people. Caleb Vincent was a great example of that. I mean, he wasn't really a shooter, but what did I say? Caleb
Martin.
My fault. Yeah.
Morphed him into one person.
Like those things is what Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra are going to have to do and figure it out quickly, because they don't scare me right now as they're constructed. Like, yeah, Giannis and Bam, damn, y'all gonna have some good ass defense.
Start. The defense is
this
there.
Is gonna be crazy, but
I think that's what has me excited, Joe.
Score.
Is it's the Heat kind of right now. We got to see how the roster fills out, but it is the Heat to their absolute core with Spoelstra and Pat Riley. They're going to be a defensive-minded team first.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they need to fill in some shooting. And it should be noted that this trade with the Bucks is not official yet. It'll go official on July 6th, and both teams are seemingly working to add more teams. This is very similar to the Suns and Rockets trade last year that ended up being a 7-team trade with all different moving pieces going everywhere. But I think one thing that because this has been a big take that a lot of people have had about the shooting, and I don't disagree. Like they need what we've talked about this on the podcast before. There's people that shoot a good percentage from three, and then there are shooters, right?
Yes.
They have 2 people on their team right now that shoot a good percentage from three that I would say are not shooters. Davion Mitchell last year came into the league, not a very good shooter, but last year with the Heat actually shot 38% from three.
Add him to the defense. Their defense is going to be crazy. Oh my God.
Still left another really good defender, Andrew Wiggins. Last year shot
41, oh my God.
Shot 41% from three. But
Not
again, both of them are not shooters. Like those are people that if they are open can make shots, which is perfect for Giannis and Bam. Like they will.
Are we really saying that about Wiggins though? I mean, okay, the Golden State let him go because that one finals game he couldn't make open shots.
I mean, I think
that's an anomaly. 41% this year, that's an anomaly.
He's been trending that way over the last few years. I mean, but it's like it's on low volume. It's not a guy.
That man not taking 6 threes a game. Yeah.
Exactly. Like Bam, for his credit, actually got himself up to taking 6 threes last year.
Yeah.
But that was at like a 34% clip. Now one thing, if you want to be optimistic for Bam on wide open threes, he shot 38%. Theoretically, he will get a lot of wide open threes with Giannis as his running mate. Last year Bam was trying to do off the dribble, like because there was no one else on the team. So,
but do you really want Bam out there at that 3-point line like that?
I think in spurts,
because there's gonna be times where it's gonna be really crowded in that paint. Because Giannis, wants to get in there. And
right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's gonna be interesting.
Like it's not gonna be, I don't think, 100% of their offense. But last year, which I now find interesting because if you think of all the discourse, this started last May with Giannis. And so I find it interesting that the Heat brought in somebody that really excelled in that 5-out offensive concept.
Mm-hmm.
The Heat, from a team that was a very slow-paced team, went to all of a sudden last year, they played the fastest pace ever recorded in NBA history. Very interesting, right? 5-out. That 5-out, though, is very conducive to who? Giannis. So it almost felt like the Heat were kind of preparing.
Giannis gonna drop 83.
Might be 84. Got to one up Bam. But no, I mean it's almost like the Heat were kind of preparing for. I think they were probably hoping an in-season trade to get Giannis at the deadline.
Yeah.
But then if not, now their team has already kind of been molded to fit what Giannis does really, really well. Now there's been some other interesting trades. Isaiah Joe getting traded to Detroit. Does that mean Duncan Robinson's eventually going to be available? Could he come back to the Heat? That's exactly somebody the Heat could use with those two. Now that is a shooter. That is the type of player that the Heat need to get. But there's also, Tim Hardaway Jr. is a free agent. Anthony Simons is a free agent. So there's some shooting out there that the Heat can go after and try and get. But you're right. They definitely need to add some of that to this team. And it might be like the first year with LeBron in Miami where it's,
all right.
That they got the big three, but then the rest was kind of bare, and then they didn't really hit their stride until that second year after they could start adding a Mike Miller or Ray Allen, Shane Battier, all those types of guys.
Thanks.
But let's go to the other blockbuster, Joe. This one had me scratching my head a little bit. The Timberwolves traded for LaMelo, and the details of this one. So LaMelo and Josh Green go to the Timberwolves. Josh Green, a little bit underrated in that aspect, really good role player. The Hornets received Naz Reid, a 2033 first-round pick, 3 first-round pick swaps, and 3 second-round picks. Previously to that, the Timberwolves had already traded Julius Randle basically for nothing to the Nets, which we now see
literally a second-round pick.
Clear room for this. So, Joe, what's your reaction to this one? LaMelo and Ant-Man.
Man, first of all, I'm pretty sure I remember in the regular season we did a love or hate, and I said hate to the Hornets for benching LaMelo. I'm pretty sure I did that. So
Well,
They should. I
the
think this is
Hornets did go on quite the winning streak once they did bench Mr. LaMelo. But
that's not the point. They shouldn't have benched his ass, and that's why he gone. I mean, but I can understand why they did it. Kobe White balled out last year. Like, I can understand you got Kobe White, you got Brandon Miller, you got Knipple. Like, that's a nice core you want to start. And LaMelo has been wilding in Charlotte. Like, so I can understand why they wanted to move on from him. I just don't. It doesn't make sense to me with the Timberwolves. Like, okay, I get it. You wanted to make a move because Karl Anthony Towns, you traded for Julius Randle, and Karl Anthony Towns just won a championship. So now you got egg on your face. So now you feel like you need to make a splash and make a move. You saw how much Anthony Edwards had to have the ball in his hands in the playoffs. So you want to get him a point guard who can do something that's dynamic. You don't just have Conley out there, a slower, older point guard out there doing things. You get a point guard who can actually score points and take the ball out of Ant-Man's hands at times. The only thing is, I don't think you got the point guard who knows how to do that mentally. This man still be playing basketball like it's all a fun and game, and he don't be taking the game that serious. I will give him credit in the second half of the season after he got benched. He did start becoming more of a point guard, but we'll see how that go. I feel he's too much of a knucklehead. You got two knuckleheads together. Ant-Man he do want to win, but I feel like you put two clowns together, they're gonna have fun, and they're gonna have fun on that court. And I think they're gonna have too much fun, and I just don't think it's gonna work out. It sounds good on paper. I just don't think it's gonna work on the court. It's just not gonna work. They're too. Too many things that's gonna go wrong. They're gonna have too much fun together. There's gonna be too much nonsense, and it's not gonna be all basketball. And that worries me.
Yeah, LaMelo is talented as hell. Like, you can't deny
Absolutely.
how talented of a basketball player he is. He can see the court well. He's a good shot creator, shot maker. Like, he can do all of those things, but he is like the most unserious NBA player I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I just can't wait to see the look on Ant's face when they're in a playoff game and there's 18 seconds on the shot clock and LaMelo decides it's time to shoot a one-legged three. Like, I can't wait to see like that reaction, because again, like, can he make some of these shots? Yes, but like, why are you taking one-legged threes to begin with? You're not a serious player. Like, you're not doing. There is no strategic element to that. You're not like, oh, well, this is because I can bait them into this, or I can. No, you're doing it because you want to have your own thing. Like, you're purely doing it to have your own trademark, and that's just stupid. It's just stupid. Now, if someone comes back to me and says, actually, LaMelo shoots 44% when he shoots one-legged threes versus 33% when he shoots up 2 feet, you got me. Confident that's not the actual results.
No, he's doing that for highlights. He think it look cool.
Yeah, so I mean, now again, if they can get him to buy in and be like a serious player, and then yeah, I think it's a swing worth taking. And maybe you make the argument that, like, look, they needed to change something. This was
who
the
the
best
fuck on
available
Minnesota
deal.
gonna get him to buy in?
I like the coach. I like Chris Finch. I think he's a good coach. I think Chris Finch is a good coach.
Cool. I don't think he relates to them.
Well, but I think but I think that's a good thing. Like, I think he kind of leans more hard ass, which I think LaMelo might need.
If Ant-Man was less chill, Finch would be up out of there, bro. Ant-Man just super chill.
Yeah,
too.
but I mean, I think
to
me that's kind of like an endorsement, though, because, like, you know, Anthony Edwards and LaMelo are similar, but they're not. Like, they're both goofy and kind of like recklessly stupid off the court. But on the court, Ant-Man wants to win. Winning is first. To me, what I perceive from LaMelo is he wants to win, but it's kind of secondary to him playing the way that he wants to play. Like, he doesn't fit his play style to make sure that it's the most conducive way to winning. Winning is almost like it's a secondary thing. Like, not saying he going out there like wants to lose. I'm just saying winning is not here. It's playing like LaMelo and doing all the LaMelo things goes here. And I'm hoping that also allows us to win.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Like, he's unquestionably not going to be the best player on the team.
No, which is probably a good thing.
He was probably somebody that just never should have been like, here, this franchise is yours to lead us somewhere. Like, that's probably just not the role he was ready for at that age. So we'll see. I'm willing to keep an open mind with it. I'm not as emphatically against it as when they traded for Gobert, but I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, if I'm Ant-Man, I'm talking to the front office like, hey, y'all chose Rudy Gobert over Karl Anthony Towns, and that man got a chip. I just saw Victor Wembanyama will whoop our ass in the playoffs, and we got Rudy Gobert, and he can't hang with that man. And this is what you brought me in. How does this help me beat the Spurs?
This is gonna lead to the next big three in Miami of Ant, Giannis, and Bam in
Yeah,
about 2
because
years.
if you're Ant Edwards, how does this help me beat the Spurs? How does this help me beat OK? I don't think it helps me beat OKC.
Well, and the other pieces that I think not enough people are talking about either
Nas
is
Reed is
that
gone now.
LaMelo has had a hard time staying healthy.
Yep, facts.
Like now, to his credit, last year I don't know if he changed anything in his training routine or whatever, but last year he was relatively healthy. But he has had a very hard time staying healthy over his career. So like, it's not only you just got rid of somebody that was a very key kind of role player, good for your team. Like obviously, talent wise, you upgraded, but
Facts.
that's not always automatic more wins. So we'll see. But let's talk a little draft, Joe. The draft also happened. The Wizards had the first pick, and this was a loaded class. And there was a lot of people or a lot of players in this draft that in any other year probably could have, like, there might have been 4 or 5 players that could have been number 1 overall picks in different years. But of all those options, the Wizards took AJ Debonsa first overall out of BYU. 6'8", 6'9" player, didn't quite shoot it from 3 super efficiently in college, but has a lot of people are describing a skill set that they think his shot will improve. He's got good shot making ability. He was very good in the mid range, a good finisher, pretty good defensive player in college at least, and a willing passer at his size as well. Take that into account. The Wizards extended Trae Young. They've got Keontae George, Alex Sarr, Anthony Davis. I'm blanking on one now off the top of my head. Shooter that was real young last year. But whatever, like, they got a lot of good young pieces to go with now a number 1 overall pick that is very rangy, tall, athletic, has a lot of potential. What did you make? Were you on team take Darren Peterson? Or do you think the Wizards made the right choice in getting AJ Debonsa first overall?
I think they made the right choice. They got a lot of size, and they have a lot of players who can play different positions and who can stretch the floor. Now they're gonna be playing 5 out. They got Trae Young, who's gonna be doing his thing. Imagine pick and roll. Trae Young can pick and roll with Sarr. He can choose Devonta, or he can choose Anthony Davis.
Yep.
Like that's scary. And if he does that, one of those bigs he moves. There's another big in the corner that he can pass to for real, and they all can shoot threes.
Or that can cut off of it. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's dangerous. I think the Wizards are going to be good. My only issue with it is, do these guys know how to win? The only person on the team that knows how to win is Anthony Davis, but is he going to be healthy on the court? And I think that
I've
that
seen
matters.
so many takes now. People are saying, "Oh, wow, the Wizards got off of the worst contract in basketball of Bradley Beal just to have the next worst contract in basketball with Trae Young." I feel like that is so overreact. Like, it is.
I think people are shitting on Trae Young for no reason, bro. I get it.
It didn't work in Atlanta, but at the end of the day, he did take that team to an Eastern Conference Finals.
And did they really put a team around him? They put so many of the same type of players around him.
Yeah, like that build just was never that great. When he had a pretty, like, still kind of in his prime, Clint Capella, like, they were a very tough team. Like, they were not a fun team to go play. Now, they didn't win 60 games or anything, but like, you're also not asking Trae Young now to be the best player. Anthony Davis is supposed to be the best player. Debonsa eventually should be the best player. And if you wanted to tell,
should be up there too.
Well, yeah, but now the thing that I love about all of this is that Sarr now is like, he can just slot into being a very good player and focus on just being a winning player. But like the thing that like kills me is like all these things we talked about the Hawks, right? If you were going to tell me how you wanted to build a team around Trae Young, this is exactly how I'd want to build it.
Exactly it. Yep.
Sarr can
and
switch
you can
a bunch
hide
of
him.
positions. He's very agile. Anthony Davis, you put a bunch of rim protectors around him, not a bunch of fucking wings.
Now you can hide Trae Young too defensively, because he's not giving you defense.
Yeah, and like, they've got some shooting to go along with the bigs, and like if again, a lot of it's going to be dependent on, can Trae Young and can Anthony Davis stay healthy. But if they're relatively healthy next year, like, they're going to be a problem. I think I think they should be talked about in the same way that the Heat shot up all the rankings within the Eastern Conference Finals. I think the Wizards should be thought of in a very similar way if their whole team is playing. Like that team's more filled out than the Miami Heat are right now.
And Trae Young, I like a Trae Young that's averaging 19 and 10 over a Trae Young that's averaging 25 and 7. I'm just saying, and that's what he's been doing his last year with the Hawks. People don't realize he changed.
Trae
he
Young
taking those stupid shots.
He could very much end up being like an 18 and 13 type of player.
Yes, that's all he needs to be with that team. Absolutely. I think it was a great move.
And be able to make big shots. Big shots. He can still end of a game. He can still be the person with the ball in his hands, getting up good shot. Like he can still do all that. If AJ DeBonsa's ready for all that in year one, great. Here you go. But if not, you got a guy that at the very least, no one can deny how clutch that man's been. That man has made a bunch of clutch shots. So
if he was on the Spurs, I bet you they would have freaking won some of those games in the Garden. Garden killer.
Not a bad take, Joe.
Garden killer.
But so let's just open this up to the rest of the draft, Joe. So we had the Jazz take Darren Peterson, the Grizzlies took Cameron Boozer, Bulls go Caleb Wilson, Clippers go Keaton Wagler, Nets take Mikael Brown, Kings take Darius Acuff Jr. Dusty May leaves Michigan with likely a bunch of sanctions and then takes one of his guys, Morez Johnson Jr. at 9. Those Atlanta Hawks take Kingston Flemings out of Houston. Just overall draft reactions, Joe. Anything jump out to you as you're not too sure about it, or anything?
OKC drafting the 7'3" guy out of Michigan. Obviously, that's a Wemby situation. But
and interestingly, now getting Mara, from Michigan, and then today they re-sign Isaiah Hartenstein.
Oh, and I didn't think they were going to keep Hartenstein. Okay, that's not
3 more years.
That was a good move. So now they got 3 bodies they could throw at them, and they don't have to really worry about. Well, they still need Chad to put some points up. I like what's the kid's name out of Kansas City? Peterson. Sorry,
Darren Peterson. So the Jazz.
I think he could be one of the best players out of this draft. I'm just concerned with the cramping and shit. And his excuse was creatine. Like, okay, I guess. I mean, I need to know more.
I'm so torn on him. Like, is this
too.
Is this a thing where, like, remember before Jamar Chase's rookie year in the NFL, and they were like, oh, well, he's getting used, so the stripes on the NFL ball are different than in college.
Yes,
he's having a hard time
catching. And it actually did affect him at first. His first
year, and they were like, oh, did it? And then it's like, oh no, that was actually a really stupid thing to be concerned with at all. He's a monster. Like, is all this stuff going to be like that for Darren Peterson, or is this all going to be part of a bigger thing? Like, he was just never ready to be he just doesn't have the mentality to be a pro. Like that's
he doesn't know how to play. He doesn't know how to play hurt versus injured.
But then just like also the thing, like, he was asked about his personality, and he said, "Yeah, I'm antisocial."
He definitely is. I've listened to some of his interviews. I'm like, dude, say something.
And it's like someone made a good point. Like, there's a difference between being introverted and antisocial. Like, you can be introverted and still fit within a team and all that. Antisocial to me is a team different. Sport. Like, that's like, like you're refusing to communicate. Like, that gives me pause. So it just seems funny. He also, like, very clearly doesn't want to be in Utah. It seems like, which I can't blame him.
Who wants to be in fucking Utah though, right?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? It's like, it just seems like Utah is now a team full of people that don't want to be there. Like, Walker Kessler's pissed off because of how the contract situation's going. Like, it's just like
Walker Kessler tripping. Walker Kessler tripping though. Like, bro, how much money you think you're gonna get? We don't even know if you're a good player yet.
Wrong. I'm just saying,
you missed the whole season. Boy, you better take that money.
Well,
that's $113 million you just turned down, and we don't even know if you're good.
They're not. He didn't play the season because they didn't want to win too many games. That's what it felt like.
He was hurt though, but yeah, he could have played a couple. He probably could have played 20, 30 games.
Like, I don't know. Does Jaren Jackson Jr. really want to be there?
Hell no.
Trade. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like all these people. Like, does anyone actually want to play there? Probably not. Joe, when I look at the draft, like, the one that just sticks out to me is like the ultimate win. And I hate that this is where he's going, but I do think it was probably the best pick.
Say what I'm finna say.
Darius Acuff
Darius
Jr. lasting all the way
Yeah.
to 7 just
Bro,
is
insane. He's probably like the
insane.
top 2 or 3 easily.
Like, I get it. He didn't even seem to try to play much defense, but there are some players that can just score it in a way that it just doesn't really matter. And he
Allen
seems
Iverson.
like he is in that like category of prospect. And like, I get it when it comes like maybe you don't take him over AJ DeBonsa. If you really believe in all the other stuff with Darren Peterson, you don't take him over Peterson, even a Boozer.
I'm
Like,
taking him over Boozer.
Like,
Nah, I don't care. Just because
like
of
there, but
pedigree. He went just because
like
his
there
dad
are
went. That's
there.
why he went 3. 'Cause I don't.
Yeah, but
Sorry, I don't
I
like
think the
Cam
thing with
Boozer that
Boozer is
much.
just like Boozer is going to do like Boozer probably has like the highest floor of all of those kind of people with around the
I see.
top overall pick. Like, he's gonna rebound. He's going to score pretty
I
well.
don't know.
Like, at
He
worst case
struggled
scenario,
at times though scoring. I see him struggle sometimes.
I see. I feel like he's had the least struggles of all the top picks. Like, all those guys had games where they didn't quite
Granza
live up
had
to
some
what they
games where he
thought.
didn't look great too.
You know, and it's just like floor. He's gonna offensive rebound, get putbacks. He can shoot it well enough to where he can space the like. He is like 3-and-D type player. At best, he's like Kevin Love. Like,
Okay.
You know what I
That's
mean?
not
Like, I
bad.
just to me, like he probably doesn't have the ceiling that some of those other guys have, just because I don't think he's athletic enough
That's an
for
all
it.
NBA
But
player.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's still like a very, very good
Yeah.
player that you can win a whole lot of games with. But like
I
yeah,
agree
I don't
with
know. But like
Acuff,
taking
though.
like a Caleb, there's just no way I'm taking Caleb Wilson before I take Darius Acuff
No.
Jr. if I'm the Bulls.
Agreed. That may be a lot of pressure on Acuff though going to the Bulls.
It
A
could
lot
have
of
been
pressure.
like the
Because he's
Nets taking
a
Mikael Brown
dynamic
Jr. Like,
scorer, bro. Yeah, I agree.
I
Some of
don't know.
these didn't make that much sense to me too. I agree. I'm like, bro. But the top 2 are pretty good.
No, seventh overall is good. I just hope he doesn't waste away in Sacramento like every other good
Oh yeah.
player does.
OKC getting Bennett Sturts, I think is crazy too. I seen a lot of Bennett Sturts games because I saw him at the Valley. I watched him when he was at the Valley. I watched him literally courtside doing play-by-play. That man is a shooter. He ain't fundamentally sound. I know he's not the most athletic, but you don't got to be the most athletic when you were OKC. He gonna be. That's like just a straight up spot up shooter. Like he could be JJ Redick. I'm not lying. That's like his comp is JJ Redick, but he's
Well,
a
and
little
that's the
bit
thing.
bigger.
Like, when you have these teams that are already established with their
Yeah.
main pieces, they don't have to draft for potential. They can draft like, okay, who's going to be able to come in, fit the team, right? Like, that's why I was ecstatic with the Heat's pick in the second round, getting Conwell from
Oh,
University of Louisville, a guy that 4-year players, like, yeah, the ceiling's probably not as high as some of these other guys, but for his career, averaged taking 7 threes a game and shot 40%. Sign me up. With what the Heat have on their roster right now, yeah, sign me up. Somebody that can shoot and plays defense, absolutely. But that's the thing you're afforded when you've already got your main pieces. Like these guys that are picking at the top, like the Nets got to find like their main piece still, so they have to pass on some guys that are more sure things. But we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. The draft is always exciting. See where all the new young faces are going. But we got an old face, Joe, that we got to figure out where he's going to go. Your guy, LeBron James. You're our resident LeBron James expert. It sounds like it's between the Lakers, Golden State, back to Cleveland, or back to Miami. What's your gut say?
Man, Golden State. My gut says Golden State because LeBron James, what you have nothing to lose and nothing to gain. And all you ever talk about is how you would always wanted to play with Steph. In All-Star games, he's so excited every time to play with Steph. I just think it would be amazing. LeBron, he doesn't even have to be great. His on-court knowledge and Steph together on the court will be just nasty work. Steph will be so open. He's never been that open before. It will just be so nasty. Jimmy Butler coming back from injury too. Like you can slow pace him coming back if you got LeBron. I think, and then you still got the young pieces that are decent. Like for Skims, why am I blanking on his name? The white dude.
Brzezinski?
Yes, thank you. I think like you got shooters, so you got shooters and LeBron. Like it makes a lot of sense. I don't think he's going back to LA just because he's not
It's
taking a
starting
pay
to
cut.
seem. It's
Why
starting to
would he
seem like
take a
it's
pay
not going to
cut?
happen.
Once they signed it Reeves, I was like, oh yeah, and they're gonna have to sign DeAndre Ayton because they need a big.
Yeah,
So
I mean, Joe. So
you're not gonna pay LeBron.
that the Golden State has working, they've got the highest cap total
Yeah,
currently
and then
assigned.
I just don't know if does
So
LeBron
he's
want to
going to
go play
also have
with
to take a pay
Giannis
cut.
and Bam. That's just too much clogging the paint. Does he really? Hey man, Pat
The
Riley
good
threw
thing,
away
the
his
good
cookies,
thing,
dog.
the good thing, if he were to go back to Miami, would be the Heat have basically a setup to where the exact opposite of what he has in LA, right? Like in LA, it's three guys that are elite scorers, but they're all cones on offense at this stage in their career, right? In Miami, if LeBron were to go there, he would have Davion Mitchell at a point guard, can take the point of attack. Assuming Wiggins is not a part of facilitating LeBron to come there, you've got Wiggins who can take the best perimeter defender, and you got Giannis and Bam to back you up at the rim.
But
The one thing that you would say the Heat need offensively is like everything that LeBron brings, playmaking. LeBron could kind of coast during the first 3 quarters of games, and then when it's fourth quarter time, LeBron can kind of get into his bag, make some tough shots to help close out games. I think it's a pretty great situation for him.
That's literally all the way across the country. That's literally all the way to the other side of the country.
That man got every resource in the damn world.
I understand that, but his son is at Arizona.
That's fine. Bronny can
his
come
family
too.
in
Bronny
LA.
Give me a better NBA point guard
just
to learn from for Bronny James, what he could really be in the league, than Davion Mitchell.
Kyle Lowry.
You just had to try and piss me off. All right, yeah, take LeBron's ass to loser ass Philadelphia.
Hell no, that's not. I just don't think LeBron's gonna go to the East Coast, but Miami would be cool. LeBron going back to Miami and giving them another chip will be a crazy story, just as much as him going to Cleveland. I don't think Cleveland gonna happen.
They got $4 million cap space,
and how they played and James Harden booty. LeBron's not taking a pay cut. I don't care if it's his last season. That man he's earned to get paid as much as he can. He should not take a pay cut. I don't care. It's not about chips no more. It's about
I don't know.
He has nothing to gain, nothing to lose. Don't take no fucking pay cut.
I don't think he's getting a max contract from anybody at this point.
Yeah, but the Lakers, he's not going back to LA because the amount of money that they could give him he's not doing that. He's not taking a veteran minimum. And LA is not finna go.
Miami, he can get the full mid-level in Miami.
That's what I'm saying. And LA is not finna play the luxury tax going into that third level. So there's not that many options for him. Which is crazy.
I feel like his stint with the Lakers, like, I don't think he could have anticipated how annoying Kobe fans would be. But like, it just feels like the Lakers have never
accepted him or even tried to embrace him all the way.
Yeah,
I agree. That even the ownership, everybody, for real, I agree with that. And he probably felt that way too a little bit. Well, we know articles came out last year and said he felt some type of way because the Lakers say, they said he is not grateful enough.
And you've been seeing all the stuff that Rich Paul has been saying about
yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, the Heat always know how to fill out a roster. Blah 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 blah. Oh, trust me, they're not done making big moves. What you mean by that?
I mean, he got a lot of players, but you're right.
You're right. He does it. He got a lot of players. He more than just LeBron.
Him and Max Kellerman podcast is good too. They actually look good. I thought it was gonna be ass. It's actually good.
Yeah, no, they do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
But
it's getting interesting.
It's getting interesting. I can't wait to see where he goes.
Wherever he goes, I go. That's what it is.
Let's go.
It is what
around the world.
Facts. He can go play for the what's that shit called? The
Shanghai Sharks.
Sharks. There you go. Yep. I had to add a little racism in it. That was terrible.
Classic Joe. Yeah.
Hey, they're my people. Where'd you go? Hey, I can do that.
I can do that. You can't do that.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, we end the show. We choose love. We choose violence. What you got?
I'm shouting out love. Terrence Reed Jr., baby. CCP, Chaminade kid. Went drafted in the first round. Went to the San Antonio Spurs out of UConn. I mean, I'm claiming him. He left his senior year, but we still claiming him. He's a Chaminade kid. He was there from like 7th grade to his senior year, so we claiming him. Terrace Reed Jr., St. Louis kid. Now that means Chaminade has 4 players who have been drafted in the first round. So I'm just saying we looking pretty good just to be a small private Catholic all boys school. We doing pretty decent. I'm just saying. We got more than CBC. We got more than the Smith. We got 4 of them. Shout out Love. That's all good. I love seeing it. There's so many St. Louis people in the NBA. It's great to see. And a lot of them wear red and white.
As someone that was there from 6th grade to sophomore year, I will co-sign that the partials
you count.
Can
count. You count.
But yeah, I like the vibes, Joe. I'm on similar vibes. I'm going to show love to Robbie Avila and Dion Brown, some Billikens that are going to get some more love in the NBA. So Robbie Avila, 10-day with your at least for now Lakers. Dion Brown, 10-day or summer league contract with the Nets. So shout out to them. Hope they can earn them a real roster spot, like my man Jordan Goodwin, who also just got paid by the Phoenix Suns, got him a real guaranteed contract. So shout out to those Billikens making it in the NBA.